Hi everyone, it's Keira and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about Alpine and why I believe that Pierre Gasly is going to replace his enemy Esteban Ocon at the team next year. Obviously there have been rumours going around that Pierre Gasly is going to take this seat, but we haven't really seen any evidence to back it up. So that is what this video is going to be all about. I'm going to be showing you all of the evidence that I have gathered as to why I believe that Pierre Gasly is going to take Esteban Ocon's place at the Alpine Formula 1 team for as early as next year. So before I get into the video, if you do enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to the channel down below. But yeah, let's just get started. So the first reason is just that Toto Wolff manages Esteban Ocon. So Toto Wolff was able to get Esteban that seat by pretty much throwing money at Renault at the time. Obviously it's going to be Renault Alpine, but I'm talking about Renault. So yeah, he basically could have just thrown money at Renault and at Cyril and been like, look, I've got this money. My driver's not bad, because Esteban Ocon is not a bad driver. Take my driver, take my money, have him for 2 years. And I think that's what's kind of happened. We know that Mercedes don't have like another place to put their Mercedes juniors. It's not like Ferrari when they've got Haas and Alpha. Williams kind of will take one, but they kind of want to stand on their own 2 feet and they want to build themselves back up to the top. Mercedes don't have places to put them. And Esteban is not a Mercedes junior anymore. He is just managed by Toto. And I mean, Toto has secured him this Renault seat for 2 years. But after that, what more can Toto really do? He can't try and get a Formula 1 seat for the rest of his life. If there's no room, there is no room. Now, the next thing is, will management at Renault and then Renault's transition into Alpine, will this change the situation? Will this change, you know, their thought? We know Jerome Stoll is no longer part of the group. We know Cyril Abiteboul is no longer part of the group. We know there's a lot of people that are moving around and changing as we rebrand into Alpine. Are they going to need Esteban Ocon and Toto's money anymore? Especially when Esteban hasn't performed last year. Obviously it might change this year, but being up against Fernando Alonso is not an easy task. And I just feel like they know what they're going to get with Esteban now. As much as it pains me, because I really love Esteban Ocon, I feel like they know what they're going to get from Esteban now. Why would you carry on another year for the 3rd year if you've got Pierre Gasly, a race winner, knocking at your door? And, you know, as much as they're both French, it's not like Pierre is from another nationality. He is still French and they want a French driver on their team. And kind of moving on with the French thing, it's that Pierre Gasly is a French driver and we know that Esteban is as well, but Pierre is pretty much the fastest French driver in single-seaters right now. Like, I can't think of another French driver who is as talented, who is a race winner, who is young, who is ready to go as Pierre Gasly is. And as I said, you kind of know what you're going to get with Esteban, whereas I think Pierre has got a little bit more locked away and a little bit more to offer. And sometimes I don't like the fact that teams want drivers from their own country that their team is from, but I do get it from like a PR side of things, and I do get the representation of it, but sometimes I feel like it's a little bit silly for all these teams, especially when you see it in junior categories, like all of their drivers are from the same country that they are from themselves, and it's a little bit too much. But I feel like if you want a French driver next to you, go for it, because I can't think of any French drivers currently. I don't know, they've got the new Alpine announcement for the juniors next week, but currently thinking of the juniors, I can't really think of any that are French. So I definitely get why they want that strong French driver in their team. Now the next point is that Gasly simply wants to get out of that Red Bull system. Obviously he had that shocking time at Red Bull in the top team and then went back to AlphaTauri and is quite comfortable there. However, he is in this Red Bull system and there's only one place to go other than AlphaTauri, and that is Red Bull, and we know that didn't work, and we know it was toxic, and we know how much it pained Pierre being there. Like, actually thinking about it makes me a little bit emotional because it was such a bad time for him. He said publicly he's ready for the step up back to Red Bull, but Helmut Marko again has publicly said we're not really interested in him. He's not on our career path anymore. Obviously they've got Sergio Perez now, then maybe after that they'll take Yuki Tsunoda, or they'll take Liam Lawson or Yuri Vips or somebody like that. I don't see Pierre having another opportunity in the Red Bull, so he can't sit in an AlphaTauri for the rest of his career. He cannot go to waste like that. He cannot go to waste like that. So I just feel like Alpine would be the best place for him to go, looking at the teams on the grid. I feel like it's quite a secure team. Again, he is French. I feel like he'd be more secure there, even than somewhere like Haas, or if you went to that Ferrari kind of system, or even Mercedes. I feel like you would just be a lot more secure in the Alpine, because we know Alpine, they're not really, you know, focusing on their juniors like they should be. There could be a lot of their juniors that they could bring up, but instead they bring their youth in Fernando Alonso. I feel like Pierre Gasly would just feel quite secure in the Alpine, and I feel like it would be somewhere where he would aim to go, and I feel like he would definitely push for this. If he knows there is no more room in this Red Bull situation, and the fact that he's just going to stay in an AlphaTauri for the rest of his Formula 1 career, definitely, if I was him, I would aim for Alpine as well. Now another point is that Pierre Gasly actually outperformed Esteban Ocon in 2020. He scored more points than him, he got more higher positions than him, he qualified higher than him, obviously he got that race win, obviously Esteban did get that podium, but it was very overshadowed by everything else that was going on that weekend. And I know that 2020 wasn't the best for Esteban Ocon, like I know that he wasn't on his form that say he was in 2017, but regardless, it doesn't look good when you're fighting for your seat for 2022. We can't keep looking like 5 years back. We need to look at the present. So Gasly was in P10 and he scored 75 points, whereas Esteban was 12th with 62 points. Now I do get the reasoning behind, you know, Pierre Gasly did get a win, but at the same time, Renault were fighting for P3 in the championship. AlphaTauri were behind the Ferraris and weren't really catching them. There's a massive difference in this car performance, and there is a massive difference in what your expectations were. When we saw how good Daniel Ricciardo done compared to Esteban Ocon, and then when we saw how good Pierre Gasly done compared to Danny Kvyat, it puts it into perspective a little bit more. I feel like Esteban should have done more, and as I said, looking at Pierre Gasly's season and looking at Esteban Ocon's, you're going to want to go for Pierre Gasly. I just think just overall, even in qualifying, even just in the race pace, Pierre Gasly looked a lot stronger. We saw Pierre Gasly in Q3 a lot more than Esteban Ocon. We saw him fighting a lot more than Esteban Ocon. Again, I don't know the ins and outs of why Esteban's season didn't go too well, because I know that he is a good driver, but Pierre Gasly just looked on another level. So if this change does take place, how will this look in terms of Pierre Gasly coming alongside Fernando Alonso? Because Fernando is contracted for, I think, 2 years, and Esteban's runs out at the end of this year. So if in 2022 we do get a Fernando Alonso versus Pierre Gasly, how is that going to go? Because I'm not sure, but I think I'm not sure with anybody that is alongside Fernando Alonso. I just don't know how these things are going to go. I'd like to hope that it goes well, it doesn't overshadow Pierre Gasly, but again, where will Fernando go after 2022? If Pierre Gasly gets a contract till 2023, does Fernando get another contract? Is a junior going to come up? We just don't know, but Pierre Gasly could turn into that higher driver at Renault that maybe they don't have at the moment, or maybe they won't have when Fernando moves on. I don't know what Fernando's doing. I really don't know what he's doing. So Pierre Gasly could really come into his own, and he could be that team leader at Renault in the next couple of years or so, and he could really build that team around him, which I think would be perfect for him, and that is how you make a world champion. And in terms of Esteban Ocon, where's he going to go? I mean, I don't believe that he deserves to be off the grid. I know he's had a couple of years in Formula 1 now, but I do believe he's got more to offer, and I think this year is going to be kind of make or break for him as to where he goes, because Toto, as I said, can't place him forever. He could place him back in the Williams, but then is he going to be needing to place Valtteri Bottas in the Williams, or is Valtteri Bottas going to go off the grid? We know we have too many good drivers for the seats we have in Formula 1, so it may be that Esteban Ocon has to venture out somewhere else, could go to Formula E, could go to WEC, could go to anywhere else. We just have no idea where he's going to go, and it kind of is up to Toto as to where he could place him. I don't think money's going to be an issue. I think Toto will source him the best seat he can. But if it's in Formula 1 or not, I really don't know. So there we have it. That is it for today's video. And that is why I believe that Pierre Gasly is going to replace Esteban Ocon at Alpine for 2022, and my reasonings why. If you did enjoy this video, and if you do agree with me, or if you've got any other reasonings that maybe I don't know about or I didn't mention, please let me know in the comments, because I'm really intrigued about this. As I said, these are two drivers that don't get along, but actually I really like both of them. So it's really a weird situation, but I'm really intrigued and I'm really invested in this situation, what's going to happen and how this is going to play out in the next year or so. So if you do know any more information, I would love to know. Please let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.